You know, if I were really creative, I would have some of that dee news kind of music coming in here. Um, we're going to have an episode of Trumanism's News, talk about some of the releases that the UFC made recently after UFC 97. Rio Chonin, gone. Pretty much almost everybody that lost UFC 97, gone. Because they lost in UFC 97? No, come on. UFC's never been like that. But generally because these people have multiple losses, their marketability wasn't that great. Also because the one guy that they're not going to cut who really had the boring sleeper would be Anderson Silva. But you can't cut a champion. But most of these people lost their fights there. Bilkeden lost. David the Crow Loiseau, gone. Jason McDonald, gone. Vinny Magalhaes, gone. I'm thinking David and the David. What am I talking about? I'm thinking that Dana and the Fertittas not real happy with UFC 97. And I really wasn't that upset with any of the fights except for the main event, which everybody realized was pretty boring. You know, I'd really like to see Anderson Silva try and fight that same way against Forrest Griffin. Then we'll see. He can lose. Just like he said, he's not unbeatable. I'm telling you, Anderson, fight that way against Forrest Griffin. You'll prove it to the world. The one not listed on here is cut. And I don't want to make too big a deal out of this because I do respect the man. I respect his ability. I respect what he's done for the sport. And he is one of the biggest reasons that UFC and MMA is on the map. Chuck Liddell. Chuck may have quit, retired, but in essence he was going to be cut if he didn't. And altogether that's 6 people gone after UFC 97. And Chuck, please, I mean no disrespect, but it's a lot of pruning done by the UFC so that they can kind of thin things out and help things to grow. I mean, there's a lot of talent out there, and they're going to try and get some of that new talent in there, but there's some people that just either aren't living up to their potential or are past their potential or are too stubborn to reinvent themselves. Anyway, that's it for Trumanism's News. Until next time, peace.